When Edit Part mode is enabled, SOLIDWORKS can make it easy for you to focus on the component you're editing by changing the way components are displayed. Let's take a look at some options that affect this behavior. Under Options, under the System's Options tab, there's a group labeled Display Selection. You have an option here called Assembly Transparency for In-Context Edit. Right now, it's set to Force Transparency, and the transparency slider is set to about 90%. This setting means that when I edit a component in the context of an assembly, all other components in the assembly will become 90% transparent. The component I'm editing will become opaque if it isn't already. Let's see what this looks like. I'll select the glass tube, which as you can see is already transparent, and click the Edit Component icon. Notice all components become transparent, and the glass tube becomes opaque. Although changes were made to the transparency of the components, notice they retained their own original colors. The glass tube is still cyan, the level is orange, and the cover plate is gray. If you wish to further isolate the component being edited, you can force it to take on a new color and force all other components to turn gray. Under Options, on the System Options tab, again select the Colors group. It's called Use Specified Colors when editing parts in assemblies. I highly recommend having this option enabled. It makes it much easier to see which component you're editing. I'll enable this option, and you can see the glass tube is now blue, while the other components are gray. If you wish to customize the colors used here, you can do so by changing your system colors. This is controlled by an option found in Options, under the System Options tab, and select the Colors group. In the list of items, find Assembly, Edit Part in Assembly, Non-Edit Parts. You can click the Edit button and change the colors as you wish. Let's continue with the transparency options in the Display Selection group. In addition to forcing transparency, you can select Maintain Transparency. This setting will keep opaque components opaque and transparent components transparent, but color changes will still take place. When I click OK, notice the glass tube is the only transparent component because it was the only transparent component in the assembly to begin with. Finally, we have the Opaque Assembly option. This will override all transparency settings in your assembly and make everything opaque. If the Use Specified Colors when editing parts and assemblies option is enabled, color changes will still be applied.